Hello, and welcome to Dumpster Diving. I'm Brandon Barber, and I'm here with my friend Nate Hampton.
What's up?
And Logan Porter.
Hello.
And today we're here to mourn a very important figure in our lives. Someone most important to me, especially. I'm sad to inform you guys that Mr. Peanut has died.
This is pretty upsetting, being a peanut enthusiast myself, and all of the work that Mr. Peanut has done in my lifetime, let alone many other lifetimes. He is just a tragic hero, and I was just saddened to hear about this only 30 minutes ago.
I'm not chuckling. That's tears. I'm crying. We
all feel your pain.
Do you want to explain what happened to Mr. Peanut? I don't think Nate knows.
Yeah. On January 22nd at 11 p.m.,
what are you
he died
at,
saving the lives of Wesley Snipes and Matt Walsh as his car, the Nutmobile, exploded.
Wesley Snipes is so lucky that Mr. Peanut was there.
He's a hero.
He is.
He's a hero along with the Nutmobile.
He died at 104.
104?
Yeah.
That's wild.
I
thought you meant like the voice actor died, because I'm pretty sure Bill Hader was the voice of Mr. Peanut for a minute. That's why I was confused. I was like, wait, who died? Like the actual character, the mascot Mr. Peanut, is dead?
Yeah, the Twitter for Mr. Peanut changed to the estate of Mr. Peanut, and it has a monocle crying.
That is the stupidest shit I have ever heard.
So
F in the chat.
I think that we should just have a quick moment of silence for Mr. Peanut, the hero we all deserved.
All right, I think that's
all right.
I think
Speaking of the
that's
Nutmobile, how's your car, Logan?
Well, for those of you who don't know, I drive a 1976 Chrysler Cordova that has blown up on multiple occasions. The brakes have gone out on it. It has tried to gas me. I was driving one day and I could see this like green smoke coming out from under the hood, and I'm like, that's probably not good. And it started to come through the vents, and I was like, that's really not good. So I pulled into my reserved spot at the post office, because I'm always breaking down right there, and fumigated my car.
That's
probably
ridiculous.
good, because I saw a rat in it one time. So
Okay, guys. So I was in McDonald's, right? And here I am. Logan had just gotten off work, and he comes running through the back door, hysterical, asking if he can have a broom. He walks back out the back door, and I go and I look, and he's in his fucking car trying to beat this fucking rat to death. And I just...
Is that... What
I had to go
Are you
to
gonna
the
kill it with
manager
a...
and explain that I needed a broom to sweep a rat out of my car. It was the worst day at work, too, because I got out in my car, I sat in the front seat and sulked, and as I went to look at the dashboard, he's just staring at me with his Steve Buscemi face, just angry as hell that I was in his area, and he jumped at me.
He leaped at you? He was gonna kill you.
Yeah, dude, I fell out of the car slashing at him with my straight razor from my pocket, but...
You had the quickest reflexes ever to whip out a pocket knife against a rat who was gonna maul you. Who was gonna maul you in your own car. Oh my god.
Yeah, well,
that's ridiculous.
Some people step in dog poo, some people get leaped at by rats in the car. It happens.
There's no telling how long that thing had been in your car.
Hell, he was probably in there when we bought it. He might still be there. If he's still
emerged.
there, he has learned to live with me.
Yeah,
And you with him.
apparently he was sick of your shit that day. Maybe he was going to give you a hug. He was going to give you a hug because you had a bad day at work.
Probably.
And you
Dude,
slashed
you
at him
fucking
with a razor
murdered
blade.
Remy for Ratatouille. All he wanted to do was make you a sandwich.
Nah,
He's like,
he
"Get
was
back
a little
inside."
bit bigger than Remy. I'm talking like Chuck E. Cheese size. That guy could have
Holy
wearing
Oh my
a
god.
passenger seat.
Like, if he's Chuck E. Cheese size, was he just like sitting in the passenger seat?
He's just sitting there like, what's up, bro?
He's just sitting there in the dark, and then you look in there, and he leaps at you.
I'd be terrified. I'd be scared.
I'd
be scared if Chuck E. Cheese came at me like over any other oversized rat. Like Master Splinter, I know I'm dead. Mickey Mouse, I know I'm probably just gonna get like bankrupt. But Chuck E. Cheese is probably out to kill me.
Well, Chuck E. Cheese is scary for a whole nother reason. I mean, when you go to Chuck E. Cheese, when he walks up to you, you can smell like nasty ass cereal and crayon smell, and you don't know what combination of smells that is, and it's just off-putting.
A pizza place sells cereal.
So
He
Logan,
smells like cereal.
I want to hear about.
Like Helen Keller, you want to hear about anything at this point?
Oh my god.
So Logan, tell me about Ronald McDonald.
What about him?
About Ronald McDonald?
Yes.
Well, when we were at McDonald's, when I was brought onto the staff, I didn't know this at the time, but there's a little shed that we had in the back of the McDonald's, and it's where they kept supplies and stuff like that. But they also kept Ronald out there in the shed. And every night or so, we'd have to take one of the stray children that had been left in the play place and just kind of push him into the shed and ignore the noises that were coming from the area. As you know, a Ronald McDonald's Institute, we had to make sure that our mascot is kept healthy and fed. And this prevents him from getting free and hunting down other people during the day.
He likes children dipped in Big Mac sauce.
Yeah,
That is ridiculous.
No, it happened. I swear
I mean,
to
it's
God.
true. You should just go out to the dumpster, and that's where we keep him. There's a little door that opens up into his cellar. He has a nice flat screen TV in there.
He's just chilling.
He's just chilling. As long as
Yeah.
he's not hungry, he's fine. It's
Yeah.
like a shark.
Yeah, once they feed him, they let him go and like socialize.
A
It's
and
shark
shit.
with clown shoes.
A more profitable Pennywise, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
imagine Pennywise started with a lemonade stand and then expanded into fast food. And that's where you get Ronald.
Yeah, just every other customer would be a victim.
Well, every customer is a victim. Heart failure is the biggest killer in the world right now.
Isn't that wild? I have to say something actually.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? You know how Snickers is, right? Snickers, the candy bar.
Yeah, I know
Oh
how
my God,
Snickers is.
Snickers?
That sneaky son of a bitch.
Snickers replied to the state of Mr. Peanut to
What'd they
let them
say?
know that they would die for the nut too.
All right.
Fun fact, Pornhub also replied, and they were like, me too, man.
That is pretty great. But what I was fixing to say is Snickers is always like, you're not you when you're hungry, and they're all like mean as shit, and then once they have a Snickers, they're fine. It's like we're marketing off of like people with like sugar issues and shit. Am I right? Am I completely right or wrong? Because it's like instead of going through the proper procedures to prevent it from being any worse, they're like, just eat another one.
Just eat another one.
Just
You'll
eat
be
another one.
happy if you have a few.
If you have a few, and then there's no telling what's down the road for you. I just think that's crazy. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's
Yeah, just-
nuts.
It's nuts.
Nuts.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless
We
you.
can edit that out, right?
No.
No, that we're keeping that in.
That's fucked up.
Just this big
not
ass
fucked up.
belch.
It's needed.
All right.
It's real.
Yeah. So that's my thoughts on the sugar addiction of America.
The sugar addiction.
Well, that's very interesting, Nate.
I thought of that in the shower.
I think of different things in the shower, to be honest.
Yeah.
What do you?
Porter,
think
I got a
about
question.
the shower.
Economics usually, but
Economics.
Just like I wonder how my stocks are doing today.
yeah.
You can't be
Porter,
happy
hairy
unless
ass
your
feet. It's
portfolio's
just like-
full.
I bet my stocks went up.
I have a question that can go for all three of us, and we can all tell them. This is going to be
Okay.
a segment I'm going to call shit stories.
Oh God.
So let the shit stories begin.
Oh,
So I don't think I've ever shat my pants after this experience because of how much trouble I got into about it.
What?
I don't think
Okay,
I've
you
ever...
gotta tell me this story. I haven't heard it.
So I think it was, I don't remember how old I was. I knew it was whenever we first moved across Plains, and I used to go to Greenbrier Elementary. So it would be my first grade year. We went to this event that was some kind of like corn maze thing, right? And there was a corn maze, so I'm like moping around the corn maze, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
oh my god, I have to shit so bad. And I don't know, I got scared because I couldn't find anybody. I couldn't find my entire family. I got lost in this corn maze. And then I farted one good time and I was like, oh, I don't have to shit anymore. So I found my sister and she was like, why do you smell? Did you fart? And I was like, yeah, I farted. Just as like an excuse. And then shortly after we left.
Wait.
Like,
Did you say you farted knowing that you just shit your pants? Or did you not know yet?
I didn't think I shat my pants until I was in the car. So we were in the car, and the whole time, Mom's like, oh my god, did one of you guys step in poop? And we were like, nope, she was clean. Then they're like, yelling at my sister, like, do you have poop on your shoe? And she's like, no, I don't have poop on my shoe. And I'm sitting there, and I feel something. I'm feeling something, and I'm like, oh god, I think I have a little shit pocket in my pants. So we get out of the car, and my mom knows. She knows it's me because I'm red faced, and she knows that I have shit in my fucking pants. So we get inside the house, and she's like, you shit yourself. Let me show me your fucking take your pants off, fucking everything, change out of the shit. You're going to the bath. So I take off my Scooby Doo undies, and there's just a shit blob. There's just a shit blob on the whole back of the front of Scooby's face. So yeah. And I threw those undies away after we tried to salvage them by washing them or something, and it was still there. We just threw it away because it was like my favorite pair of undies next to like my Bumblebee undies. So yeah, that's my shit story. Brandon, it is your turn.
It's time
your
to
shit beans.
plunge into the shit.
It's time to plunge into it.
Yeah. So when was the last time you have shat your pants?
Well, I don't know about shat my pants, but
Like
there was a
full
time
on shit.
there was a time recently when I almost did. I was driving home from work. And I just didn't know if I was going to make it home. I went into this Dollar General and I was like, "Hey man, where's your bathroom?" And he was like, "It's out of order, but I mean, it's usually that way," and pointed to his left. And I was like, "Okay,
it's
thanks."
usually that way. What if it is just somewhere else one day?
Yeah, it's
a
usually
little fucking
around there.
It's like it's usually
out
on
of
the
order.
left, but sometimes it moves to the far right side of the store. It's odd.
Yeah, but since it's out of order, I'll show you where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, he just pointed, and I was like, "Okay, thanks. I'll keep that in mind later." So I walked out the door, and then I walked back in and walked towards the bathrooms, went into the out of order toilet and shat in it. And
Nice.
I just left it there because it wouldn't flush. Washed my hands, walked right out of the bathroom like I was the coolest person in the world.
Oh well,
Nice.
that is cool.
Yeah.
That's a very respectable shit story.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
On my scale, I'll give that a 4 shits out of 6.
And I will give it 4 wipes out of 5.
That's pretty good.
You probably should have wiped
pretty
one
good.
more time, but only 4.
They were out of toilet paper, so I wasn't able to wipe. I had to do that whenever I got home.
Well,
Ew.
I give that
All right.
3 streaks up.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's a 6 shit out of a 6 shit.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh my
Poor
god.
poor guy that had to clean that. Can you imagine that? Like the guy comes in to come fix the toilet, and there's shit that's just been sitting there for like 6 days.
Ooh, it's all soaking
in
in the water.
in this disgusting toilet water.
All right. Porter, tell me the Most recent time you have shat your entire pants.
Oh dear God! It was. Well, why are we talking about this?
Because it's entertainment. Now tell me about your shit.
It was probably junior year of high school. I was extremely sick already. I woke up with an upset stomach and I was sweating bullets. And I was forcing myself to go to school. So I'm rushing out the back door because I woke up late and I felt like straight ass already. Smelled horrible. So I'm going down the stairs and I tripped and fell because staircases are the number one enemy to fat people in America. So I fell down the stairs and sure as hell enough, I shit my pants halfway down. And like the other half of the stairs, it just kind of got, splattered around. So,
Holy hell.
That was wonderful. I made a phone call to my mother. I told her, I was like, look, I shit my pants. I'm not going to school. And then I hung up before she could respond.
Did it look like the Nickelodeon logo, but just shit in your underwear?
I can't say. I just took off the pants and threw them away. At that point, they weren't salvageable. I had burritos the night before, so...
Wow. Yeah. That's a good shit story. I give that shit story 5 shits out of 6.
Five
out of six. That's a weird scale.
It is, but so is shit. So
I give it 3 flushes and a mercy flush. How about that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey Nate.
Oh God.
I want to hear some ghost stories.
If this is on the podcast, I'm literally gonna quit.
All right, Porter.
Any of the ghost stories you have? I want to hear about the one where Logan almost shit himself because a gun fell.
Oh, okay. Porter, that's a good story. I think you should tell it. Porter. Hello? He fucking left!
And we're down Porter!
Oh my God. Are you for real?
Yeah, he just left.
He just quit the podcast? Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ.
Let's move on.
I guess so. That's a fucking
ghost
shame.
Stories do you have from your house?
I mean, I guess I can still fucking tell. Well, you already know that. You know most of my stories. I know they don't, but it's
But the listeners don't.
Yeah. All right, so I could honestly talk about whenever Porter came over here, and because it was like a 3-day venture. Porter came over here at my house to like sleep over, and at night there was a bunch of banging on the walls and shit in here. And I know that sounds very vague, but nobody else was here. Nobody else was here. He was sitting on my couch, and I was sitting on the recliner, and we were watching videos on YouTube, and something was just banging on the walls, and we were like, "Oh my God, what is that?" And he looked at me. He's like, "Nate, what the fuck is it?" And I was like, "It's the ice machine." And he was like,
"Your ice machine does make a lot of noise."
Yeah, but it wasn't banging on the walls. It was going from different areas. And he goes, "That's not the ice machine, Nate." I'm like, "Yeah, it's the ice machine." And so the next day, he starts getting all these things. He's like, "I've never experienced anything like that, Nate. I've never experienced anything like that." I'm like, "I know, it's crazy, right?" Because he's like a complete skeptic, right? And so he just like all of a sudden sends me a picture of what him and his girlfriend are doing, and they're making this Ouija board out of like plywood and shit, and a wood burner. And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
I got warnings from her not to let you guys do anything with that Ouija board, because she was like, they're gonna get themselves killed.
Wow. That's actually bonkers, because we didn't listen. And so I think like the next day he was like, so this is like an authentic ass Ouija board. They crafted this shit. And so it's just me and Porter. We totally should have had somebody else there. But me and him were there. We lit some candles and shut all the blinds and shit. This is in the afternoon.
What were the candles for?
Eeriness.
Oh, okay.
Eeriness. That I don't know. He just lit some candles, so I figured he knew more about it than I did. But he was super interested in doing this because he said he felt something in his house. Because the night before he had the planchette. The planchette's the thing on top of the Ouija board that you use to communicate. And the planchette apparently was moving on his desk.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he probably didn't tell you that. He called me.
No, this is the first time I've heard of it.
He called me, and I think I was at Preston's. And he called me, and I was like, Porter, what's up? He goes, do you hear that? I'm like, no. And he goes, something's moving on the desk. I'm like, okay, it's probably a rat or something. And he's like, no, dude.
Chuck E. Cheese in his car.
Chuck E. Cheese moved, and he's just chilling on his desk. And he's like,
That'd be scarier than Ghost, honestly.
He was like, dude, it's the fucking planchette. And I'm like, you're full of shit, Porter. It's not the planchette. And he's just like, he was FaceTiming me, so it was dark, but he turned his flashlight on, and I saw it moving a little bit. I was like, is the board on the desk? And he goes, the board's in the kitchen. But the planchette's moving. And then he was like, I stayed on the phone with him for a little bit until it stopped, and then he just hung up. And I was like, all right.
Like he just did.
Yeah, like he just did. But he,
Maybe the ghost was telling his shit stories.
he was telling a shit story. But, so, that was the night before we fucked with the Ouija board. So we have all the candles on and shit, and we're talking to it, right? And nothing is going on. Nothing's happening. Porter's hands are shaking a little bit because I don't know why. So every time it moved a little bit, we were like, oh, what happened? But nothing happened. And so we were like, we've been doing this for like 10 minutes and nothing has happened. And so we say goodbye to it and everything. We blow the candles out and we turn all the lights on.
You said goodbye to the ghost?
Yeah. We did all the proper proceedings and everything. We did everything right that we knew of. And we said goodbye. We did everything right so that nothing would linger around.
Was this at his house or your house?
This was at his house. Because he had been having stuff happen at his house. And so we stand there for a minute. We're like, huh. Well, that was pretty lackluster. We weren't expecting anything to happen. And nothing happened. So we're just like, damn, that was a bust. And then I kept looking at this room. So his house is... from the kitchen, you could see all the rest of the rooms in the house, and it's like a narrow path from there to the back of the house. So the back right is a bedroom, right? And I watched the door open. Like, the handle clicked, and it opened.
Were his cousins home or something?
No, it was just me and him there.
Oh, well, that's even creepier.
Yeah, because I was like, dude, is somebody home? And he goes, no. And I'm like, that door just opened. He goes... bullshit. I'm like, no, it totally opened. And so he walks back there and he's like, well, the door's open, but are you sure you saw it open? I'm like, dude, it opened. He goes, maybe it wasn't shut all the way and a draft came through. I'm like, it's a draft. It's a draft. There's nothing open in the house to cause a draft to open the door. The AC wasn't on either. And so he's like looking at it for a minute, and then we kind of just stand in the kitchen and we start to freak ourselves out a little bit. And we're like, want to go into your room? And he goes, yeah. So we go to his room, right? And as soon as I turn around and I shut the door, I'm like...
There's probably scarier things in his rooms than ghosts.
I know, right? But I shut the door and I heard something from that side of the house run to the front of his door. And I'm like holding the handle to the door. And I'm like, Porter, did you even look in that room? And he goes... yeah, I did. I'm like, somebody just ran from there to the front door, to your front of your bedroom door. And so I locked the door and I stepped away from it. And I should note that the gun is it's an airsoft rifle. And so its stock is on the ground and its barrel is up and it's leaning on the desk. Okay? And it's leaning on the desk in a because the way it moves, okay. So we're standing there and I walked past it. I didn't snag it or anything. Because I even looked at it because I thought I might have. But, so I was like, Porter, something is on the other side of this door. Something is on the other side of this door. And he's like, you're full of shit. And so then...
it's Chuck E. Cheese.
The gun fucking just... it lands in such an obscure way. I know I couldn't have snagged it and hit it because it went forward. It went forward towards the door. Like the barrel was aiming at the door by the end of it. It went... completely backwards.
Oh my god.
And
that's crazy.
We both just screeched. We were freaking out. We were running. I was trying to unlock the door. And so I'm opening the door, and I'm headed out the back door.
Why would you try to unlock the door? That thing was trying to kill you.
I wanted out. I was going to be faster than whatever the fuck was on the other side of that door. And so I unlock the door, and I'm bolting it to the back door, and Porter stops and goes, "Nay!" And I turn and look at him, expecting some demon octopus thing to have him by, like, the fucking legs. And he's just staring at me. He goes, "The front door." And he's next to the front door. And I literally yelled. I was like, "Fuck you." Flipped him off and ran out the back door. Because I was already at the back door. Why would I go back towards the room where all that happened just to meet you at the front door? That was pointless.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
And I was like, I'm gone. And so I ran out. And he comes around the corner. He goes, "What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?" And we were like, "Dude, we don't know. We just had some kind of experience." Then he looks at me, 5 seconds of silence. He goes, "You fucking left me." And I'm like, "Yeah, I left you." And then he's like, "What are we going to do?" It's about 5 minutes of just processing what happened. We're like, we got to leave. We got to leave. So we're going to our buddy Preston's. We get in his car, and he just goes, "Fuck." It starts hitting the steering wheel. I'm like, "What is your deal?" And he goes, "The keys are inside." And so we had to get out. We had to get out, and we had to go around back to the back door, which doesn't make sense, because why go through the back door whenever the front door is closer to his room where the keys are?
Yeah.
And, oh, wait, no, they were on the board. They were on the Ouija board, because we put them there after.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they were in the kitchen. So we're going in, right? And so he whips out his phone, and he's trying to play music really loud on his phone so we could just run in really quick and get it and not think about what else is in the house. But his phone wouldn't work. It wouldn't play anything. Like, it was a really weird message. He was trying to play, like, some 80s song, and it was like, "This song is unavailable." So he clicks it over, he's like, "This song is unavailable." And we're like, what the fuck? So I FaceTime a buddy of mine.
What the hell was in his house?
I don't know. But I was FaceTiming my buddy, and I was like, "Dude, you gotta have FaceTime or some kind of proof of this in case we die getting these keys, because I'm hysterical at the moment." And so we go inside, and as soon as we step inside the door, the call failed. And I looked at Porter. I said, "Get the fucking keys." So we ran. We bolted it, got those keys, and left. And then we called Preston.
Possessing that house.
We called Preston, and then he's like, "Homie, we're not even home." So we chilled in there because they lived next to a church. So we were just chilling in the parking lot of that church, processing what happened until they got home. And we walked to the gas station, got some food, and kept pacing around the little town.
Why didn't you just go to your house?
Because my house was in Greenbrier, and I had my car at...
And it's also haunted.
Yeah, and I had my car at Preston's anyway, so we would have had to go to there anyway.
Oh, okay.
And we figured we'd wait to tell them what happened fresh. And then Porter tells me when we're chilling, we're like trying to get over it, he goes, "I'm house sitting tonight." And I'm like, "Where?" And he goes, "My house." And I was like, "Oh, God." And he's like, "I have to be there by myself tonight after what just happened." So, me being the gentleman I am, I said, "I'll stay there with you since we did this together, so we should have to stuff her together." And we did. So we go back to his house after hanging with Preston for a while because he has to house sit. We're chilling. We got really delirious at night, and we watched Cat in the Hat until he passed out on the same couch in the living room because we didn't want to be in his room.
Did anything else happen that night, or did you just pass out to Cat in the Hat?
We passed out to Cat in the Hat. Nothing else happened.
Well, I would say that was a pretty good ghost story.
It was pretty good.
It
was a pretty good time.
Quaking.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only...
So before we end this, I just wanted to quickly mention the Oscar nominees for 2020 and get your opinion on them.
Yeah.
So the Oscar nominees for 2020 are Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite.
Yeah, my bad.
What do you think about those?
My thing went dead, and I was like, "Why is he talking?" And I can't hear him. And I was like, "Oh God, my headset's off." So basically, you just listed the nominees, right?
Yeah, I just listed the nominees.
Yeah. I I don't know. I didn't see Uncut Gems, so I don't know. A lot of people saying that they're pretty upset that it wasn't, at least nominated for anything. Was it nominated for anything?
No, that movie got snubbed out of Best Actor.
Best Actor.
Best Side Character. It was ridiculous. It didn't even get a Best Cinematography or Best Picture nod.
That's a shame.
I
know Parasite is pretty great. That's on my watch list 100%. So I gotta check that out.
I haven't seen it yet.
I've
heard it's really good. Since it got put on Best Picture list, there's been people watching it all over, and everyone seems to be giving it good reviews, and are like, "Why didn't we see this sooner?"
Yeah,
I think that's a big business for the Oscars. They put these movies on the nomination list, and you know that the studios partly have to petition the Oscars to even put them on the list. So it's not really entirely based on what's the best movie that year. And those movies that get put on there, if they didn't have great turnouts in their first run in theaters, then they go back and they get a big boost from the Oscars, and that feeds a lot of their bottom line for sequels and such.
Yeah, and like DVD sales and shit like that.
Yeah.
The advertising. Like nominated for someone like 11 nominations for, like, I know Joker got like 11 separate nominations.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he got, what was it? The Golden Globes, and then what was it? The SAGs Awards? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah. He got Best Actor for both of those, and his acceptance speech for the last one was really, really powerful. He was talking about he recognized all of his nominees, all of the people going up against him.
That's really good.
Yeah, and he even told Adam Driver, he said, "You should be up here," in the middle of his speech for Marriage Story.
What did Adam Driver get nominated for? Was it Rise of Skywalker? Because he totally deserved an Oscar for that.
No, I didn't.
No,
he's
he
the
really
best.
didn't.
He's
It
arguably
was for Marriage Story.
It was for Marriage Story. He's arguably like the best part of the Rise of Skywalker. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. He did an amazing job. In Rise of Skywalker, all the actors from the other three movies, they really stepped it up, but it was still pretty
It's
okay
lackluster.
acting from everyone else but Adam Driver. He did an amazing job.
I think the movie itself is just bland. I felt like nothing happened in this
it's
movie.
Fine.
I thought it was just a
it's
bunch of
fine.
like random shit just to finish off the trilogy, and I was like, all right, whatever. But yeah, I hate that for the actors. Rob Pat and Willem Dafoe didn't get nominated at all for Best Actor.
The Lighthouse didn't even get nominated for Best Picture.
No, it got nominated for Best Cinematography, and that's
all.
it. That's it.
It's not going to win Best Cinematography. There's better cinematically shot movies in this list.
Yeah,
But I would have definitely put it on top of the Best Picture nominations as much as Best Actor. Would you have given it to Rob Pat or Willem Dafoe for that? Best
I don't
Actor?
really know. I don't know. I like them both a lot. I want to say Rob Pat because every time he's on screen in the movie, your eyes are drawn to him and whatever he's doing, and I think that's really
He's a very powerful looming figure.
Yeah.
Like, until I saw The Lighthouse, I didn't think that he would be a good Batman, but he just has a presence on screen. You just know that he's there. He's very powerful.
Yeah, and like the director said in some of the special features when they were talking about casting him, they were like, no matter what he's doing in the movie, whether it's good or bad, you're always drawn to whatever he's doing. Like, no matter what, you're always rooting for him. So, based on your opinions of the movie, you can determine on if he is a good guy or a bad guy. But it's all up to interpretation. But either way, I think we can both agree that he was the one that I was drawn to more, and probably most viewers were too.
Yeah, I would have absolutely picked him as best Best Actor,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah, I think Willem put up a fantastic performance, especially with like all the speech therapy he went through to get that really piratey voice and like to
Yeah, he
nail
was
everything. He listened to nothing but oh my god, sea shanties for a while. And nothing but respect to him too. But I think Rob Pat should have definitely been nominated, and if not, I think he would have been a great winner.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
But I feel like the Oscars at this point, I don't know, I just don't care enough about them anymore. And
yeah, me either. It's just like a pissing competition.
Yeah, did you see?
It doesn't
Little
even
Women?
matter.
Did you see?
No,
Little Women?
I didn't see Little Women.
I had no idea that movie existed, and I know that's probably. I'm sure it's got a lot of great qualities. I just haven't seen it, and I had no idea it was even out. I didn't know that was a thing. I was like, whoa. So when I saw it in the Oscars, I was like, what?
It looked very pandery from what I saw from trailers, but I actually have someone here who has seen Little Women.
Oh.
Hi. Wait, you said you saw it, Brandon.
What's your opinion on Little Women, Finley?
Well, wait, let me think about it for a second. I'm trying to think about this like you have.
I mean, I haven't either. I'm just winging all this shit.
Yeah.
So she was over there on the bed with her mouth, like her jaw to the floor, because I said that I hadn't seen Little Women, and she was like, "What the hell?" So I figured she had something to say, but
No,
here
I
she
guess
is,
not.
like, not saying anything.
Calling her out. She does know it's like the. You know, it's like the new Little Women, right? 2019.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw it like the week after it came out.
Oh, okay. And
What did
enjoyed
you
it?
think of it?
Oh yeah. I read the book years ago. Okay, hold up. I can't listen to that. Okay. So I read the book years ago and I really liked it, but it's a little bit different. Like I feel like the details in it were a lot more intricate than in the book, cuz it's actually a really short book. But the characters were dead on from the actual book. And I don't know. I think the casting was amazing for it.
Who was in it? Did she blank? Like, who was in it?
Yeah. Okay, so basically all I've heard was Little Women was good.
Yeah.
But I
Acting's
can't have
phenomenal
any-
from actors we
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, all right, I guess we don't know who's in it.
I can't say anymore. I haven't seen it. I don't think that Joker deserved to be on there for Best Picture. I thought Joker was an okay movie. It was good in certain qualities. I talked about that on the last episode, but I don't think it was Best Picture worthy. Neither was Ford v Ferrari. I don't think that deserved to be up there.
Yeah.
Of the ones I've seen, the only one that I thought really deserved it was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and maybe The Irishman. The Lighthouse definitely should have been on there. 1917 I've heard is amazing, so maybe it deserved to be on there.
It's so fantastic. I love that movie.
Best Picture worthy?
Yeah, I enjoyed it so much.
Okay, good.
So that's a definite.
Then I
you
guess
should
it
go
deserves
see.
to be on there.
I think Joker should have been nominated. I mean, I don't know Best Picture, but I definitely think the ones that are deserved. I really liked the score, and I really liked Joaquin. I think Joaquin deserves to be in the nominations because he carried the whole thing, and cinematography definitely needs to be on there as well.
Oh, absolutely. I think he deserved to be on there for Best Actor. And cinematography, I would put it on there for... did it get nominated for cinematography?
I honestly don't know. I would think. It has 11. That's like 11 to go there. Surely it's on there.
I'll look it up and we'll talk about it on the next episode. But for now, I guess that's it. You have anything else you want to say?
No. I think Porter might be on the next episode. I don't know.
Or he might not.
We'll
talk to him about it.
And if not, we'll probably have somebody else on as a guest or something like
Yeah,
that.
next episode we're gonna have our first guest on.
Yeah, so that should be pretty neat.
So yeah, you can look forward to that. Yeah, I guess that about wraps it up.
Yep.
You can follow me on Instagram at Brandon Texalot. You can follow Nate at
MasterNate17, all lowercase.
And since Logan isn't here to tout himself, you can follow him at Logan M Porter on Instagram.
You could also
for
you can also follow 128 Productions. I figured I'd shout them out anyway since he's not here. I feel like he'd appreciate it.
yeah, I feel like you would too. And for our Little Women expert, you can follow her at FinleyBella15 on Instagram. And that's all for us this week. See you guys later.